Alright guys, by the look of things, y'all really enjoyed this the first episode of this series, and I really appreciate all the kind comments and the suggestions. One of my subscribers had asked, could we do a multi-threading where instead of all like engines look for one item, maybe if we had like two or more engines, you could split the search up. I think that's going to be a little problematic, and let me try to explain why. If we look over here at our machine, it gets it from the top, this machine. And if you don't know what this machine does, it basically, you put in this filter the item that you're looking for, and it just places the shulker boxes down. And if the shulker box doesn't have the item you're looking for, it goes into this chest that goes back up to the storage, is going to go back up to the storage. But if it does have the chest or the item that you're wanting, then it goes down to this area and it places the item back into the shulker box that the filter had taken out, and then that item goes to the player because that's what you're looking for. That's all this machine does, is holds a mass quantity of shulker boxes, and then you're able to easily find that item. So it's like a vanilla version of the AE system on modded, which is kind of crazy. So back to our other little multi-threading problem. I was initially thinking that this would be a module, and so each module would have 6 chests on it. And so when you fill these 6 chests up, the chest would be, like this. Oh my goodness, the new chest system's weird. So, you'd have your 6 chests built up. And whenever those 6 chests got full, then you just build you another module. That way your time for searching never slowed down. And if you had 100 chests to here, well, then if you only have one search engine, it's going to take a lot longer than having, multiple engines running looking for the same item. So that brings me to our problem for the multi-threading. I'm going to try to explain this, and I've done this about 3 times now, and I failed. So I'm going to try. If this works or not, this is what's going in the video. So let me explain what the blocks are. The white blocks are the storage system. So all the chests where you're getting the shulker boxes. The blue line is going in. This green is going out to the player. Red is going out to the storage system, and the orange is the actual search engine itself. Okay, so we have 2 search engines. This is encapsulated, and this is encapsulated. The only thing that we're going to have to try to make it even is when the shulker box goes back to the player and we put it back into the system, we need to make sure that these 2 are evenly matched. So this one isn't completely full, and this one isn't like 1 or 2 items in it or half full. We need to make sure that they're completely even. That way we have the search engines run at the same time. Okay, so if we do the multi-threading, this is the problem that we're going to have. Well, instead of having 6 chests on each one, we're going to have 12 chests in one spot. So, and hoppers only can move so fast, and you can only throw out so many items, and you have to put it into a water stream if you're going to do a search engine test at the same time. Like all 2 engines are going to run at the same time searching for the same thing. Or in this case, if you want to search for 2 different items at the same time, you're going to have to do this. So the purple block is the already been searched for item in this one, but wasn't able to find it. So say you're searching for redstone in this one and pistons in this one. Okay, goes through it. There's no redstone in this one, so it goes to this line and comes back through here. And then there's there's a piston in this one, so it goes back to the player. But if there's redstone in it, then it goes to the player. So we're going to have to do like a daisy chain where it goes through and goes back and back and back. Yeah. Hopefully that made sense. I'm going to stick with this idea first, and then later maybe make a version for this. I don't know. I don't really know how to make these two happen at the same time. I really, really, really like this idea. I don't know how to get this to work. But yeah, that was Man with No Life. I appreciate the suggestion. If you got a suggestion, let me know. We'll try to make it work, but I can't promise anything. Here we have basically the same thing goes over here. I just added this line. So basically, as soon as the item goes into this dropper, it's going to go up and then back into the storage system. Well, we got a problem with that. And the problem is it's just going to keep creating a loop. It's never going to stop. We need to know when it goes through all of these, and then it stops. So, and we can't just let it run because it won't go through all of them. It'll just start going through the same like 6 or 7, 10, whatever at a time. It'll just start creating a loop, and it'll never actually empty everything. So we need a way to empty things. So I did a little work, and this took me a pretty good amount of time. So this is a clock, or a counter, not a clock. This is a counter. So basically, it's going to count a chest worth and then 5 that go in a hopper. So that's 59, I think. Yeah, 59. 56 in a chest and 5 in a hopper. So once it counts all those, it's going to lock everything down. And then we need to do this little thing. It's going to lock everything down, and this is going to momentarily blink on. And when it does, it's going to turn this on. It's going to shoot an item out. And when it does, it's going to let this signal go down or turn on. So these are all off. So items can go all the way down. I hope I'm explaining this correct. Or not correctly. It's correct. It's just good. So if I do that, this is going to come on. So all of these items came out. And yes, all of these items came out. And now this one's locked. So truthfully, the top one always needs to be like that. We'll figure that out in a minute. Okay, so the items are going to be in here. So this is actually 7. We're going to have 7 chests. So the items are going to come up, and they're going to fall into here, and they're going to wait. And then whenever that counter goes off again, it's going to say, oh, I went through another chest in a hopper. And so it's going to click another one out. And when it does that, what? Anyway, I need to finish this. Obviously, I'm not finished with this, but as soon as I am, I need to combine this onto this machine. So anyway, that's the goal today, is to get a storage system for it to where we don't have to have 6 chests down here and then 6 chests up here, and then it catches all the items, and then when it's all done, it goes back up here. That's how I did it on my first machine, and I didn't like that. I always wanted to make something like this, but I was always sidetracked with other things. So let me try to get this working, and I'll be right back. 3 hours later, and a big mess. Okay, this ain't gonna work. I realized now. This is not going to work. Oh geez. I gotta do some more rethinking of what I'm going to do here. Maybe torches aren't the thing I need to use. Okay, I just need to get, every time this comes back, it'll send a signal, and then we need the signal to just slowly drop, And then when it gets all the way down here, it needs to go back to the top and lock this hopper. Needs to lock that hopper, unlock, lock this hopper, unlock, lock this hopper. Maybe a piston feed tape with maybe some like cauldrons or something. Let me see if I can mock something up with that. We have a semi-working thing. You push this button and the item goes down. Problem is when this goes down or up, it'll go up. It's going to be able to pick this and up through the block. So that's no good. And I don't think solid, I don't think this will work. Let's try it, I guess. I don't think that'll work. I'm pretty sure it won't. Nope, didn't think so. Okay. Only other thing I can think of is to make this one more wider. Alright, so now we have a gap in there, so there's nothing can be reading through the blocks. Let's get a cauldron and let's place it right here and need a bucket. Yes, okay. So when it goes all the way down, is that when this one should be a cauldron too? I don't know. Maybe this isn't the answer. Let me keep looking. Well, this piston tape thing is an alright idea. It's just, it needs to be the perfect amount. Like, for this one to start at the top and the other one to be in and at the bottom. And then whenever it comes around, it's the right size. I don't know. It would be really nice if we could make just one stack work, like I said, with the trail of, I don't know. I wish this would work. I'm getting tired and frustrated, you know. This is whenever you should stop if this is your thing. This is a pretty good little invention that I made, this counter thing. Whenever it gets all the items over here, this non-stackable item creates a clock over here, and then it pushes all the items back over here, the bottom items, and then it starts to count over. Oh, I did this over here. This is how I did it before, which I was just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but then it turned out pretty good. I made this little machine right here. So this right here, we'll send a signal to this torch, and whenever the torch goes off, it's going to retract this block, which is locking this hopper, and there's nothing in that hopper. But as soon as it goes back, an item is going to go into that hopper, a shulker box is, and it's going to create a signal here, and it's going to keep this torch off. And as long as there's items falling through it, it's going to keep this piston retracted. And then as soon as it's all said and done, it'll come back on and it'll let it send the block over here to lock the hopper again, which is really cool. Way simpler than what I had on the version 2, I guess. This would be version 4. We'll call it version 3 though. So, yeah, this is actually turned out really well. This isn't the greatest. I don't really like this just yet. The double sets of chest. I'm not a big fan of that. But if anything, today we figured this out and we figured out what not to do. So if you have any more ideas that we can put on the wall, let me know. So far we still got the index inventory lookup system so we can know what's in the system and how to search for it. We kind of did this, but not really. I'm not going to take it down because y'all might have some really good suggestions in this. If you got any suggestions on how we could accomplish that other than how I explained it earlier, let me know down in the comments. And okay, guys, I guess that's about it. So remember, Jesus loves you, I love you, and we'll see you next time here in the Redstone Code. See ya.